Hi, Eric Lanask with TMC. I am here at Cloud Expo in New York, and I'm talking with AmpliData's Mark Ward. Mark, thanks for joining me today.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So, some really exciting news for you this week that you're hitting the show floor here with. Tell me about that excitement.
Yeah, it's really a coming out party. We're announcing that Verizon has selected our Himalaya architecture to deploy their entire storage cloud infrastructure on. So pleased to have a Fortune 50 enterprise service provider adopting our technology and rolling it out on petabyte scale.
Tell me a little bit about Himalaya.
So Himalaya is a three-dimensional scalable object store architecture. The unique capabilities that we're able to offer is scale capacity, performance, and availability linearly associated with your use cases. So whether you need to archive storage, whether you need to back it up, whether you need to provide a migration strategy off pre-existing legacy platforms like an EMC Isilon or a NetApp, the object storage platform from AmpliData can do it at about 70% the cost of traditional technologies.
So, I don't want to overlook the significance of somebody like a Verizon choosing you over others in the market. Why? What differentiates AmpliData?
Yeah, it's a great question, and Verizon spent about 2 years evaluating this particular technology selection. Number one, they started with looking at open source and concluded that the time to market, the engineering costs associated with going that route were not competitive in the environment. They also looked at the incumbents, again, companies like EMC and NetApp, pre-existing suppliers, and decided that their product set didn't meet the scale and cost points that ours could. And finally, they looked at other startup companies that, again, quite frankly, didn't have the technology feature functionality of scale, performance, and availability that AmpliData did. On top of that, what we have done is we have transitioned to a complete software-only company. So in terms of the products that we offer software, and we work with pre-existing hardware platform vendors in the industry, folks like Quantum, folks like Quanta, the Chinese manufacturer, folks like Sanmina and Avnet, to provide a very low-cost hardware configuration to support the capabilities we do in software.
What does the selection of AmpliData as one of its partners or vendors mean for what Verizon is going to be able to offer its customers?
Yeah, so Verizon's number one competitor in the cloud storage space is Amazon. So Amazon has led the industry in driving costs out of the cloud-based storage equation. By leveraging the AmpliData software, they've been able to reach a new economy of scale on cost to be able to actually compete effectively and efficiently for that Amazon cloud business, whether it be S3 or whether it be Glacier. So we're real proud to be part of this Verizon announcement.
How much are you seeing businesses starting to show more and more interest in using cloud for their storage needs?
Yeah, that's another great question. I would say that on the enterprise consumption level, we're really starting to hit the early majority phase. So using a Jeffrey Moore crossing the chasm type analogy, the early adopters have already been in the bed with us, and folks like Verizon have made that big step. Now we're seeing more and more financial services companies, more and more biochemical, bioengineering, genome factoring companies, oil and gas. All large data repository use cases are now finding their way into object storage, and quite frankly, the economics associated with the offering that we provide are unbeatable by the existing legacy providers.
And I'm assuming that's simply a case of just storage requirements just going up and up and up.
Well, it's a combination of storage requirements going up and the existing technologies offered by what we would call the legacy providers are just not scaling from an efficiency, a cost, and a performance perspective. So if you're currently a NetApp or an EMC file-based storage user, you're running into some cost limitations, you're running into some availability limitations on RAID rebuilds, and what object storage from AmpliData does is eliminate those barriers in terms of being able to support the growth that your business demands.
Are you replacing those legacy storage systems, or are you supplementing them?
Well, we're actually doing both. So the primary applications are for archiving data or second copy data, and in many cases we are the migration path from existing incumbent We are also adding new application for our technology, and that's what I would call greenfield growth. The average capacity of an AmpliData system can start at a couple hundred terabytes, and now we have configurations well over the tens and approximating hundreds of petabytes in a single instance.
What's next for AmpliData? You've got this huge deal now, obviously, with Verizon. Where do you go from here?
You know, we have built the company on listening to our customers. So the use cases that they're asking for now and in the future are additional big data use cases, leveraging technologies like Hadoop, leveraging technologies from the gateway market. So one of our partners here today is Avere. We also work with Twin Strata. So providing more ways to leverage the AmpliData value proposition from a performance, availability, and cost perspective. So you'll see a wide range of new announcements coming from us tomorrow on additional OEM partners, additional channel partners, and programs to actually support their effectiveness in the marketplace.
It sounds from what you're saying and what I've heard from others here at the show already that despite the fact that we've been hearing about and talking about and discussing big data for a number of years now, businesses are only now starting to figure out exactly what they want to and what they can do around big data.
That's true, and I think it's a combination of hardware and software and services. So you're seeing, companies like Cloudera, which is a leader in the Hadoop space, and getting a major investment of capital from Intel. Intel's a partner for us, and they equally have provided us capital to develop our technology platform. You're going to see the software stack define itself on the uniquenesses of managing MapReduce programs, and that's something we're actually working on as well. In terms of the user demand, it's actually going off the charts. The value of analyzing data, the value of analyzing petabytes of data falls right to the bottom line to be able to provide better customer service, better pricing, and obviously drive top-end revenue.
All those things that are driving business decisions today. Mark, thank you so much for joining us here.
It's a pleasure. Thanks so much.